Welcome to Tech Guru Technology. My name is Imran Khan. In this video, we'll learn about dynamic range in Excel. We'll also learn how to use those dynamic range and where we need to use those dynamic range. Let me do it. So here you can see data of a company. It's nothing but the sales data of our company. Okay, and in this sheet, dynamic range sheet, I have already created two pivot table. In one pivot table I have used simple range, and then the second pivot table I use dynamic range. So see, if I click here and okay, if I click here and I'll show you data, change data source. So you can see the A1 to G26. The source data source is nothing but A1 to G26. That means it's showing data from here to here. Alright. So I just mentioned the range here. This range is nothing but a static range. That means if you are inserting some row here, or in future if you wish to insert a column here, right, then for example if we wish to insert a column here at H, column H, because the range is A1 to G26. okay, if you need to insert one column here, so that pivot will not include that column, so that's why it's a static range. In order to make it dynamic, what we need to do, we need to write a offset function, and then here you see that here we initially, in any range, initially we write that the initial address of the cell, which is nothing, the initial address of the used cell is A1. This is the address, and then the last column, last used cell is nothing but a G27, right? The first used cell, and then colon, and the last used cell. Alright, so offset function is working in very similar manner, right? So what we are doing, let me explain offset first, then I'll explain you how we make it used in name range and how it become dynamic. Alright, so here see, in this range the first part is A1, so we are just giving the reference A1, and then we need to skip second two parameters, and then in the height part is nothing but the row number. Here the row number is 26. If you see the second part of that range, here you can see G26. 26 is nothing but the last used row, and the G is nothing but the last used column. So here we can say the row height is nothing but the row, so I am saying 26, and then I am saying G is nothing but the column number 7. So this is nothing but similar, it will work similar as A1 colon G26. Alright, so in order to make it dynamic, what I did, see here, in order to make it dynamic, what I did, I used count a function to find out the last used row. Okay, so I'm just saying count a, and then I'm saying please count to the last used column, so I'm saying count column. Alright, so here I'm closing it. So if I click here, you'll see the value, because it will not work here. Alright, so what we need to do, we need to copy this from this function and then paste it somewhere. Where we need to paste, we need to write a name range. I have already written a name range here. You can see sales test. Alright, you can see sales test is nothing what I said, the first reference data a1, alright, and then I'm saying skipping next two parameters, and then I'm saying okay, count the no uh, last used row, and then count the last used column. Alright, so what can we do it, let me write a name range again for you so that you can understand better. So I'm saying sales, writing name. Okay, I'm just to refer for to refer I'm just writing formula. Okay, so where I'm just giving the first reference and then skipping second two parameters, and then count the last use row, okay, and then count the last use column. Alright, then I'm saying close the offset and then saying okay. So they are saying the name range is already exists because I have already created two name range, sales and sales test, right? That's why saying name range is already exist. So what we need to do, we can use any name range, either sales or sales name, both are referring similar kind of table. So here what I did, I inserted a pivot table and then use the name range, the dynamic name range. Let me show you. If I'm click, if you want to see the data source used for any particular table, pivot table, what you need to do, click here, click at pivot table, then after clicking analyze, you can click change data source. If you click change data source, double click it, you'll get the you'll get exact range. Here you are saying that you will not get the range like A1 to G26. You are getting some name here. The name is nothing but a dynamic named range. Alright, what I did, I have created a dynamic name range like sales test. Okay, so what is the difference between both? Let me explain the difference. Okay, right. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, let me show you the difference between this. Okay, initially let me delete the data and then make it, refresh it. Now data is showing till 29. Here refresh it, data is showing till 29th December, so it's looking similar. There's no change. If I insert something, a new row, if someone inserted data here, okay, and then you're making report and someone saying grade, okay, and okay, I am saying that A grade, we have inserted data like grade and we have inserted one more row here. So after for example in the first week you have sent a report and you have used this pivot, right? So that was pivot were looking fine. However, if after in in second week, if someone inserted one row and one column, and then so ideally what you'll do, if you're not using the dynamic range, so you'll refresh pivot table and the data, and you can see the data is not showing here because we have inserted data here. You can see we have inserted a row here for 24th April, okay, 2018. However, data is not showing. And what is the benefit of dynamic range? If you refresh your pivot table, you need not to worry about your row inserted and or column inserted. The data is showing here. You can see. So this is the main difference between dynamic range and simple range. All right. and here you can see in the column list the newly added column also showing here, right? So you can use it if your managers want to use, uh, here in filter or anywhere, because here you can, for filter, what we need to do, because of space people did not, okay, what I need to do, let me insert a row, or okay, let me give space to adjust grid here at filter. So okay, here you can see grid, but if I select here the first one, you cannot see the column grid here, right? All right, so this is the main difference of dynamic range and simple range. So I suggest you to please use dynamic range, do not use simple range. So I hope you like my video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you for watching my video.